Series. I'm Eron Howard. Today, I'm here with Ankita, co-founder of Akto, an AI agent security company. Ankita Gupta, she's been in industry for 15 years, worked at JP Morgan, VMware, and a number of startups, and excited to have you on the Innovator Series. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks, Eron, for having me over here. I am excited too.
Great. So I want to start off with, founded in 2022. What drew you to API security? What was happening in the moment in the industry that you really wanted to solve this problem?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for this question. Yeah, it's been a while, right? 3.5 years.
Seems like 20 years.
Yeah, see, I have pretty much grown 20 years in this 3 years, so it does feel like that. So what was happening was, Eron, at that time, me and my co-founder, we were colleagues in a startup, and it was COVID, if you remember, almost ending, but was still there. And we kind of were, obviously wanted to start something of our own, but we're looking at this problem of API testing more from my co-founder's point of view, because he was working on a project in the previous company that we were in on API QA testing related. And so that got our interest that, there are not many tools for API testing, and it's very manual, it's not automated, it's a hard process and all of that. And when we did a little bit more research, we talked to lots of users around the industry, and we realized that actually a big part of this QA testing and API testing was actually security testing of it. And that was even harder to solve. So, it just felt like there's a big gap. There were a bunch of small players in the market, but nothing big. And there is an opportunity over here for us to, automate this whole process for the security teams. Obviously, when we started, we didn't know No Name and Traceable, and some of these big players were in stealth. So they were in stealth for a couple of years. In 2022, when literally at the time when we started, they kind of came out of stealth in 2 months. So it actually was a very good kicker for our market for API security.
Good timing. Yeah. Your finger was on the pulse, because you feel free to tell me where you were at this time. But I remember that there was this whole boom of WAFs and API management vendors that touched security. They would argue that they were doing security, but I think this new generation, specifically you guys, are a lot deeper in what you're doing to secure these APIs. Is that a fair assessment?
Kind of. So they definitely started the market of APIs. See, for any cybersecurity company, the tech has to come first before you secure it. And so the tech of APIs really started in the 2010s, with everything becoming REST and JSON and all of that. And so Postman, API management players like Kong, gateways, Tyke, all the AWS gateway, etc. Cloud players started having their own gateways. Apigee was there, which got acquired by Google, all of that. So that obviously became a very massive market. And the kind of security layers they provided were around authentication and authorization, but that wasn't really solving all the cybersecurity related, controls and policies that security teams wanted for APIs. So now here is a time when you're seeing a massive growth in APIs. You're seeing developer adopting it. You're seeing security requirements for it. So we were living in that era in kind of late 2020s. So late 2019, 2020 was that time. And that's when I think there was Salt Security, which got some early success. There were a few players who came into the market, but really, I think 2022 was the time 3-4 big players like No Name, Traceable, and of course us. And there were a few others who came into the market, and then sort of that market kind of expanded and exploded.
So you guys launch, this next gen API security company, and then everything changes in 2023 What's the moment where you're like, wait, we need to do something more than API security here. We got to look at this AI space.
Yeah, so everything changed for everyone, 3 years back with ChatGPT launching and with OpenAI doing massive work in AI and everyone
Hmm.
building AI, LLM models. And the whole race was a different scenario in 2023, 2024. So we were actually in 2023, we launched our LLM security solution.
Wow, that's really, really quick.
Yeah, that was, I mean, literally, I think 6 months after
Yeah,
ChatGPT launching or something. And the idea was that, we in conversation started getting some kind of request on LLM security. But that was also very early market, as you could imagine. LLMs were still
for
being
sure.
built. Nobody knew what LLMs were going to look like. And it was pre-agent era and I'm talking of it
Yeah,
as if it's been 10 years, but it's like
right, right, right.
really pre-agent and MCP era. But we didn't see a lot of like real requirement, real money put on the table for LLM security by customers. There
Yeah,
was demand, there was curiosity, I would say, but not really a need, a budget for it. So we kind of
yeah,
continued our path on API security until 2024, and in 2025, like with MCPs launching by Anthropic, we and you asked me, I think, sometime back about the moment that when I thought, this is the right time to sort of do it. There was
yeah,
literally, you won't believe, Erin, it just is. Things have to come right time, right place, and
yeah.
all that happens. Actually, there was a time in I think in end of April or May first week last year when literally in the whole 7 days, 1 week, we were asked by 7 teams, including customers, including investors, including prospects, that what are you doing for MCPs?
Wow.
Yeah. And me and my co-founder, we were like, what is going on?
First, let me look up MCP. Okay. All right. Now I see what you're talking about. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I mean, we knew MCPs are kind of being adopted uh,
Yeah,
in the space, but we like everyone was thinking of us, an API
yeah,
security player, to be sort of be the first to launch an MCP security solution, because MCP is really nothing but, I mean, at least at that time it was looked at nothing but an API call, an API for
sure.
agents, and
Yeah,
which actually it is. Behind the scenes, it's an API call.
yeah.
So, so it was, yeah, it was like something that we thought was a great opportunity. Let's just do it. And within a couple of weeks, we launched our MVP for MCP
It's
security.
incredible.
And we were
And
the
you
first.
guys, so you guys were strategically placed to sort of leapfrog everybody that's going to build an AI security platform because of all this API security platform tools you had in place. Is that a fair way to look at it?
Yeah, so I think to help you understand the market of AI security, see, AI is pretty broad. When you say AI,
Hmm.
it can mean LLMs, it can mean RAG databases, it can mean MCPs, it can mean agents. It means a lot of things. Now, since 2023, right after OpenAI launched ChatGPT, since then, for 2 years after, all the players were doing LLM security, meaning LLM firewall, LLM testing,
Hmm.
discovery, or like everything was about LLMs, models, getting models right, getting models secure. In 2025, because of agents and MCPs kind of
Yeah,
exploding, everything became about agent
yeah.
agent security and MCP security. So market kind of shifted from giving a story of LLM security to agentic AI security
Hmm.
in 2025. And I think we are the players who are looked at as agentic AI security and not the traditional LLM security. So when we say also, sorry, go ahead.
No, no, no. Please, please.
So when we say also in our, positioning and how are you different from traditional LLM players and
Yeah,
all that, I mean, it's really that, we are the player of 2025, which is the agentic era. The
yeah.
other players are for the LLM era. So they do that,
Right.
they do that well. We do agentic well.
what I was taken aback by when I looked at the platform with you is, regardless, if I'm a large enterprise and I've got agentic AI, I've got MCP deployments, I've got end user using tools, it seems like you guys meet those AI use cases wherever they are in a lot of different ways. And maybe how do you explain that? Like, how do you distill that down for the community of CISOs watching, of like, hey, doesn't matter what kind of AI deployments you have, we have you covered.
Yeah. See, eventually, we did all of that, but we started as MCP. We
Mm,
started as an MCP security solution. We were the first MCP security solution in the market when nobody was even talking about MCP security. And everyone kind of asked, Why are you securing MCP? What does that mean?"
yeah,
And when for our idea was that we want to be early in the market of this explosive MCP growth, and that's
yeah,
what we did. And once we did that, Erin, every single conversation with the CISO, I probably did 300 plus myself CISO demos for
wow,
our security, for our MCP security solution. And every single conversation was not just about MCP. I mean, it would start with MCP story, but they would quickly, relate it with, oh, but how do you do agent? How do you do LLMs also? How do you secure the
right,
whole identity and everything? And so we realized, and also from our background in of 3.5 years in cybersecurity, API security, we kind of knew that in this space, if you're selling to an organization a security solution, you have to sell the full package.
yeah,
You cannot be doing one piece of thing, because I mean
yeah,
you can start with that, but you essentially need to build a platform. If you know, Palo Alto has this approach, and I'm a big fan of this, but
yeah,
done in the right way, kind of. So we I think we already had lots of platform things being built in API space, which we kind of took into the MCP and agentic AI security space. So, of course, a lot of things had to be built from scratch, but it did give us a head start versus
sure,
starting afresh with nothing.
sure. So I want to ask you, you've seen a ton of AI security threats now. You've seen a lot of different use cases. Is there something you've seen in your platform where you're like, wow, this is so cool that we're catching this, that we're protecting users of AI in this way?
See, yeah, I mean, founder bias, I would say everything is amazing in my platform. But really, what surprises me, and I have this conversation with my CTO co-founder every time, that
Yeah,
what you're really proud of, because
yeah,
he's the one building it, right, with his team and all that, and
yeah,
I'm selling it. So he's and he tells me all these customer stories because he's spending a lot more time, helping them build
sure.
gardens and all that. It is amazing to see our policy framework, the guardrail framework,
Mm,
work well for organizations. And think about this: it's like
yeah,
you're a 10,000 plus employee company. Your employees are explosively adopting Claude, Anthropic, OpenAI, CloudBot, everything that you can think of.
yeah,
And now Acto, this company, is coming into your environment and is able to find that, oh, you're using this, out of this 1,000, you're using this two malicious MCPs, which could be very detrimental to your organization.
mm, awesome.
So,
Very cool.
so being able to give that kind of detail in a very
Yeah,
new environment, in a very new setup for a very new world of AI, that
yeah,
nobody has been able to catch up. To be fair, it's only been a year for
yeah,
agents and MCPs to come into the world. So uh,
very cool.
so that's something that we are very proud of. We have
Yes.
we're probably the largest guardrail policy library in the world, and I think it is something that's really valuable for our staff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So let's fast forward 5 years from now, when, 2001, companies were buying firewalls up, and then they were buying 2010, they're buying proxies up. So like in 5 years from now, is everybody going to have their, their, these five categories and their AI security vendor? Is that a fair analogy?
Yeah, it is a good question. So you're basically asking, which everyone asks, Gartner and all of these,
Yeah.
that is it going to be a category
Is it
in
going to be categories? Yeah, I'm not a gardener, so yeah, but that sounds like a good, good
Yeah,
question.
it's a question to ask analysts. It's a question to ask, the
Yeah,
founders and all of that. So according to me, and we ask this ourselves all the time, will
yeah,
AI security be a separate category as cloud security is, as firewall is, and I mean, at least from what I see today, and I live in San Francisco, I see how AI is growing in the world.
sure.
We think it is going to be definitely a big separate category 5 years from now, 10 years from now. But it's going to be sort of also a mix into another other categories.
Mm,
Will be a little bit of AI security in cloud. There'll be a little bit of AI security in AppSec. There'll be a little bit of AI security in fire.
mm,
So those things,
got it.
so you will see, and which is very common in
Yeah,
any category actually.
sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
But
Okay.
it's going to be
Yeah.
there.
Ankita, thank you so much. This has been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks, Erin, for having me.